This morning, May 11th, 2026. Excited to see everyone. Hope everybody had a great weekend. And all of you, those are our mothers. Hopefully, all of you had incredible Mother's Day yesterday. It was kind of cool to see on social media because, of course, we know it's Mother's Day here, but, to see it seems like Taiwan, Hong Kong, Mexico. It seems like so many countries celebrate Mother's Day at the same time because we saw posts coming up from so many different marketplaces celebrating Mother's Day and having great time with their mothers and sharing their lovely photos and stories with their family, with their moms. It was really cool to watch. So hopefully all of you had a great time. Thank you, Fong. Yes, I did have a good birthday on Saturday. I think this was first birthday I was actually home for in a long time. So we had our family over, we had some friends over, and we had good dinner and it was a great time. So thank you for many of you that have sent a message or shared on social media. I appreciate all of you. And it's exciting and very grateful season that we're in, especially in the month of May. It seems like it truly is a family month. There's just so many family activities happening in May. My oldest daughter will be finishing high school this week, and she graduates next week. So that's pretty exciting. My first experience. I know some of you are going to experience in a few years, and also some of you have already experienced, many times, many years ago, and it's a definitely different season and very grateful season right now. So great to see everyone. All right. Oh, same with your senior too. Okay, Megan, congratulations. Congratulations. Yes, I did. I think I did see several people that have graduating children this year. So congratulations, congratulations to all of you too. Today I want to, just quick reminder, of course, the May Fast Start promotion is still going. Today is May 11th. We still have 21 days, 3 full weeks to take full advantage of the Fast Start promotion. As we mentioned, this is a promotion a lot of the leaders asked. For past couple of months, especially in Long Beach, and that's why the North America team was able to get the company's approval to prepare such a faster promotion, for April, and we were able to get extension for May. But they made it very clear for us, the positives of having a fast start promotion like what we have right now is that it gives us extra reason to launch every person that's joining the business, launch their business with little more hands-on approach, right? And kind of having an excuse and having a reason to have the conversation. Hey, is it okay if I help you monitor, first and second promotion milestone? Is it okay for me to, keep track of activities with you to make sure that you're taking advantage of these promotions and having that reason and excuse to have that conversation, extra conversation, instead of just inviting them to upcoming orientation, but doing an orientation maybe privately right away if they're signing up, 5 days away from orientation or 4 days if it's too far out, just getting involved a little more to launch their business and help them clearly understand how to become a manager, senior manager, and really monitoring their progress for first 7 days and first 30 days, little more hands-on, and that's really the biggest benefit, right? Of course, they get the extra benefit of travel points and extra 100 or 200 or 500, cash bonus. But I think the greatest benefit of this fast start promotion is the fact that they're getting their upline leaders, the team leaders and the sponsors and maybe the directors hands-on involved in helping them to launch their business more successfully, to meet those 7 days or 30 days milestone, to have a greater success, as they get started in the business. So, we don't want to use the fast start promotion just to as an extra carrot to recruit, we definitely want to use it as an extra reason to get engaged and monitor and help them to launch their business successfully, in a time, set time schedule. And that's really the, most benefit of the promotion. Now, we talked about it when the promotion was announced in April. We don't want it to be a 30-day, 7-day business for them, right? They may hit the promotion, they may not hit the promotion for whatever reason. We don't want them to be in a disappointing situation where they, give up or, lose the energy or excitement and move forward after, maybe not hitting their 30-day promotion. So it's managing the expectation, getting involved, and having that little more extra attention, to the milestone and the progress, and having the excuse to have those conversations is how we could really maximize these fast start promotions. And this is the last month we're going to have it. The company made it very clear when we asked for the extension, they gave us the extension. They said, we'll have it in May. We will not have it in June. So, when we have a promotion like this, I'm a firm believer, you don't want to build your business culture on promotions, right? Where you only have good production and activities when you have good promotion, and when you don't have, strong promotion, or maybe promotion that you like, or you understand, or, you're attached to that maybe your production is not the same. You don't want your business to ever be relied on the promotion. And it's easy to fall into the trap of business only relying on promotions, and only move when there's a promotion, only get excited when there's a promotion. I think and that's what we're going to talk a little bit about today. I think what we have as an opportunity itself, and I think what we have as a promotion, not promotion, our products, our opportunity, and our plan itself, it has so much exciting factors in it, for a new person, that maybe we've been doing the business for 3 months or 6 months or a year or 2 years, where it doesn't seem new to us, and it doesn't seem exciting to us because we're so used to it. But it's at one point when we first heard it, when we first got the product launched, when we first heard the enhanced plan implemented, when we first heard the leadership match, when we first heard the unilevel being added, when we first heard the ICD skincare launching, when we first heard, the collagen mask, when we first experienced all of these were just it itself, without any promotions attached to it, were so exciting, and it got us to move with excitement, and to create great results. And that's got to be the base. That's where, a day to day, and it may be 2 years old for me, but it's brand new, for the individual that's just signing up today. Would you agree with that? The person that just signed up last week, the person that just signed up last month, everything is so new to them. It may be something that I've heard and said 1,000 times, but it may be it's very new to them. It's the first time them hearing it. It's first time them attending it. It's the first time them experiencing it. We still have many partners that haven't unlocked all the products and experienced all the products yet. They haven't, maybe we heard hundreds of testimonials, over the months or years, but maybe they haven't experienced, or they haven't heard, or they haven't got to engage in learning about some of the testimonials, or some of the benefits, and some of the experiences of the products, and maybe they haven't even unlocked, half of the compensation plan yet. Maybe they never received the unilevel portion yet. Maybe they haven't got promoted, or their person haven't got promoted, for them to experience leadership match yet. Maybe they haven't unlocked the top retailer bonus yet, or whatever the case may be. Everything is new to them. And, us as team leaders and directors and above, it's very important, to make sure that first love excitement of the overall opportunity itself of what we have, in Riman is the main focus. And that's what we're communicating consistently to keep that excitement and productivity and activity continue, with or without any promotions. And promotion has to be icing on the top. Promotion has to be an opportunity for a healthy business. Maybe we have good Mother's Day promotion. Maybe we have, good some other, convention pack promotion or whatever it may be. Or if it's Thanksgiving, Black Friday promotion or whatever the promotion may be. Whatever happens, it's got to come on top of the healthy, consistent activity, healthy business running, and those gives us a boost. Those gives us a boost to maybe increase 10, 20, 30%, sometimes maybe double up our sales, but it can't replace the regular day-to-day activities, without the promotion. So that's, us as leaders, us as team leaders and directors and leaders, it is very important for us to keep that in mind that our business habits are not relied on promotions and not dependent on promotions. We build a solid, consistent, steady business with what we have overall as an opportunity, and we use the promotions to grow and excel and maybe double up, and take our business and our team to next level utilizing the promotions. Does that all make sense? So I know you're all doing a great job, but sometimes these are when we have so many promotions happening back to back, it's so easy to, lose the focus of the core and get distracted and have the culture and behaviors change a little bit. So talking about all of that, so um, I want to share something with you. It's pretty exciting. Part of what we market, right? We talk about the K beauty story. Of course, we talk about the K beauty story. We talk about the K culture and K movement story. These are things that, we talk quite a bit, when we overall talk about the opportunity, and we share that there's a very unique window of time. And this is something that many of you have heard many times, but I want to just kind of say it again because I want it to be part of your vision casting and really explaining the opportunity, the opportunity proposition in the marketplace. When I talk about K beauty, many of you heard me talk about this, especially when we're launching new market. I talk about this a lot in person, in the market. And it's the fact that it's a very unique opportunity because when there is a opportunity, trend growing, when there's an opportunity of a market growing and expanding, which, K beauty right now, many of the countries, it's literally 10, 15, 20, as high as 35% of the skincare purchases in that market is coming from people purchasing Korean skincare products. And it's growing every single year for past couple of years. And many of the professionals are projecting it to grow until 2030 or longer. So there is a clear path of growth of opportunity that's available in front of us in United States, in Canada, in Mexico, in Colombia, in Chile, in Peru, in Europe, in all the markets that we're expanding in. But especially United States, Canada, and Mexico is probably the strongest movement of K-beauty market getting bigger and bigger day by day. Like the revenue compared to the first quarter numbers for some of the K-beauty companies in North America and Mexico, compared to last year. I mean, some of them are just unbelievable how much they have grown. So K-beauty is exciting to talk about because it's being heard everywhere. It's being, pitched everywhere. They see it everywhere. And here's a key story that I share. I asked them when it comes down to automobile, right? If it comes down to making cars, if someone asks you the question, hey, who makes the best cars? Many people say maybe Japanese, maybe American cars, or maybe Germans, or maybe Italian, or whatever. But most people, would you agree? They could have different opinions, but most people will have an opinion. Would you agree with that? They'll say German car or Japanese car or American car, whatever it is. And when you ask them what brand from that, market, what brand from the country do you think makes the best cars? It's not right or wrong answer. It's everybody could have their own different opinions, but everybody will have an opinion. If someone said German, somebody may say Mercedes, someone say Porsche, somebody say BMW, or Japanese could be, Toyota or Honda or whatever it may be. Everybody's going to have an opinion. Same thing in fashion. And these are good examples to give when you're onboarding and training your new business partners. When it comes down to fashion, who makes the best high-end luxury fashion? Some people may say Italy, some people may say Paris, but you ask them the question, who makes the best? Different opinions, but people have opinions. Louis Vuitton, Dior, or Chanel, or Armani, or whatever it may be, right? People are going to have different opinions, but most people have an opinion. And that's when you ask them the question. Well, we all been hearing about K-beauty. Yes, we've been hearing that Korean skincare is, the best, but what brand in Korean skincare is the best? Most of the people, unless they've been exposed to Riman, unless they're working with us, unless they're really professional skincare professionals, estheticians, and they love Korean skincare, they travel there every year to buy, and maybe they have an opinion. We know that 90% of the people we have conversation with, most of them, they're not going to have an answer. They say, I don't know. I just heard Korean skincare is good. I heard K-beauty is good. I don't know what brand is the best. And that gives us the door of an opportunity for us to aggressively approach. The reason is because the company, the brand that sold more skincare units in Korea than any other brand for multiple years in a row. They were only available in Korea, and they just started expanding a couple of years ago, and they were new in the market. And I can tell you this brand, ICD, has sold more units in Korea than any other brand for many years, and it's recognized as a top K-beauty brand. And letting them know that, and so it's an industry that they've been hearing about. They accept and respect that it's the best. K-beauty Korean skincare is a high standard, gold standard, and they like all that. But you tell them that this is the best selling, and let them know that a lot of the brands that we see on TikTok or stores, are maybe not even recognized brand, not even popular brands or respected brands in Korea. They're newer brands that's just entering into the market in the K-beauty category. But this is an established brand, sold more units than any other brand for many years. And that's what we have the opportunity to use, but also be able to have a distribution opportunity to market. And having that conversation opens up a credibility with excitement, and they understand the sensitivity and timing by letting them know that today, 90% of the people don't have an opinion, but I believe in next 4 or 5 years, it's just going to be like luxury fashion and automobile. People are going to have opinion. Everybody's going to have an opinion what K-beauty brand they think is going to be it's the best. And when the market changes to that, now it's harder to enter into because people have opinions, and now they're comparing and judging and different things. But today they're open-minded. They're not comparing. They're not judging. They're open-minded to experience our products when we tell them the story, for the first time. So, having that clear understanding of yes, our products are great, our plans are great, but really understanding the K-beauty industry as a whole and the Korean culture and products movement as a whole that's happening, that there's a window of an opportunity for us to position ourselves to really, have an incredible success, incredible opportunity in this window of opportunity. I think if we do a good job in sharing that for new partners, they'll be able to catch the vision that many of us saw 6 months ago, 3 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when we were just launching United States, that many of you got to catch and experience, so I think it's something that we should consistently communicate. And with that, and of course K-pop and K-drama and K-movie, it's helping, as they continue being extremely popular. A lot of you, probably saw a little bit of me sharing on social media. It's pretty cool that BTS started their 105, concert tour just a few weeks ago. From, first one in Korea, which was broadcasted on Netflix, which was the most viewed live stream event that ever took place on Netflix. And after that, Japan, and they started the tour now in United States and North America, and went to Tampa, Florida. They went to El Paso, Texas, and now until yesterday they were in Mexico. And I want to show you something which is pretty insane. I've never seen anything like it. This was the concert. Oh, sorry. This is the concert that happened in Mexico. They had three concerts in Mexico. So the stadium itself, they could seat, I think, like 50,000 people. But here's the crazy part about what happened.
Watch this beat going hooligan. We pop out, we acting a fool again. Hooligan, watch this.
So there's like 50,000 people in the stadium, but there's 40,000 people outside because it's an open stadium and they could kind of hear the sound. 40,000 people, they blocked the road. There was just so many people that they couldn't do anything. So they ended up starting blocking off the streets. This is the second night concert. They have 40,000 people there. Yesterday was their last concert. They had over 70,000 people out in the streets. Outside, 70,000 people outside of the 50,000 people in the stadium. Now, I know some are like, well, what does that have anything to do with us? I'm telling you, it has a lot to do with us. Here's a fandom of K cultural movements. It's not just the BTS that's like exploding everywhere. At the convenience stores, like the Korean food is selling better just because of them. It's crazy. Like it's they like 7-Elevens and like Costco and Sam's Club, they're carrying Korean Trader Joe's and like Whole Food. They're carrying Korean um, products, Korean like noodles and rice and like snacks and chips and candies. And they're starting to carry them only because when they are having movement, like I don't know, I guess that's how the fandom works in that movement. They want to be closer to, they want to feel more connected by, experiencing more things from Korea culture. And that is huge part. Many of the professionals and analysts analysts in Korea that I talk to, that is a huge part of K-beauty growing. People want to look like, there, if you look at those BTS members' skins, it's flawless. I mean, they're I don't understand it. You watch a lot of these actors and actresses in K-drama. Their skin's like, they're Koreans, but I don't know if it's politically correct to say this, but their skin looks whiter than white people. And like, like it's like you see no pores. It's just perfect. It's glowing. They got no wrinkles. Like, and people are just interested in like, how do I get my skin looking like that? How do I get my I want to look, and when they find out they're 30s and 40s and 50s and 60s, are like, what? Like they look like they're 20s. They're even, like, how do I look like that? And that is a huge part of it. And that's the marketing that we are not doing, but the world is, it's just happening. that we should take full advantage of. We should take full advantage of. I remember, 4 years ago when BTS had last concert tour, which was ended in Las Vegas. And I remember, I'm local here, 29 years, so I know a lot of restaurant owners and I have a lot of friends here. Every single Korean restaurant in town for before the concert and after the concert for almost 2, 3 weeks of time. Every single one of the Korean restaurants, they did more sales in those 3 weeks than they usually do in months. I mean, they had people waiting in line to eat for those the concert season, than they ever experienced. So now that they have concert coming up in 2 weeks here, everybody's preparing, and you're seeing it. Like people that are not even related to them, they're literally coming up with BTS menu. Their coffee shops are creating BTS like a bundle menu with a drink and a pastry, and restaurants are coming up with the menu. And what am I talking about? Like that, what they're doing, they understand the power of the movement of their marketing that's happening with or without us, and the fact that we are the really only direct sales K-beauty opportunity in America, where we in United States and Canada and Mexico, where when people, the fandom, and many people, when they want to experience Korean products and food and cultural experiences, one of the hottest category in that is K-beauty, Korean skincare. So this is the best time to approach everybody in the market with Korean skincare and K-beauty. And now some of you may say, well, my friends and my community, my circle is not, BTS fan. Well, they may not, but there are millions and millions and millions of people that are, and if you could do a little bit of outreach, and if you could do a little bit of creative, marketing when you're setting up K-pop-ups, or when you're doing Zoom events, when you're talking about it in maybe with webinars and different Zoom events, just by you mentioning it, you will attract, somebody that maybe have their children or maybe themselves liking, like have interest in that K-pop music movement, and you will attract them to try your product. So I think this is an opportunity. I talked about it before. Major League Baseball leveraging it. McDonald's leveraging it. Like there are businesses and there are organizations absolutely maximizing the movement of the K-pop and the K culture and the products. And with the BTS tour is just starting. They only did Florida and El Paso in United States, and they just did Mexico City, and I think they're going to Stanford, in like Northern California now. And after that, they're coming to Vegas. I know it's weird that I know their schedule, but I just memorized the schedule a little bit, just because I look at it as a huge opportunity for us to really leverage, and make it even more exciting and fun, as we promote our products in the market. And everybody else is doing it. And everybody else is doing it, even if they're non-Korean products, they're trying to use their marketing power to grow their business. And we should be, in my opinion, we should be leveraging it more than anybody else in the market. Us being the only distribution opportunity for people, like us to market the best K beauty product in the market. So, this is um, but it's exciting. But some of us who's been here for 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, it became so normal because you've been here, and you're so used to it that maybe we're not approaching the market and talking to new people with such a excitement, as it is, as exciting as it is. But it became normal to us, right? It's like when you get a new car or when you get a new house, you're so excited. But 6 months later, a dream car or dream house that you've been planning for a year, we get used to it, and we shouldn't get so used to it, right? I love what Zig Ziglar said. When someone asked him before he passed, hey, how many, it was like his anniversary or something, and he's like, hey, how many how many years have you been married, and how many anniversary are you celebrating this year? And he's like, no, we don't celebrate anniversaries. This is our, 50th honeymoon or something, like he said, it's the first love, and it's the first excitement, that I want to recreate every year, for 50 years, not, just be a 50-year-old old relationship, and I think, that approach in our opportunity, should be applied. I know some of us, been with us since the beginning, and it's an exciting 3-year journey. And we got to sometimes check our temperature, and pulse and say, hey, is my excitement for what's happening right now with K beauty movement, and about the excitement for the product and the opportunity, is it same as when I first heard about it, when I first learned about it, when I first experienced it? And if it's not, we should reignite that, because the brand new people that are joining today or last week or last month, they deserve to have that experience. But they're going to have the level of excitement and confidence and the drive, and they're going to just mirror us, and we are the lid of their temperature, right? And the speed, and the excitement, So we want to make sure that we keep ours high, and new and fresh, all the time, for them to, come into that environment, for them to fully experience that with us, the way that you got to experience, the way I got to experience. So, anyways, I know that this is going to be an incredible month. I know many of you have already made commitments to make May your best month yet. We got 3 full weeks left. This Wednesday is the second Wednesday of the month. So those of you that are directors and above, on Wednesday, we're going to be having our directors and above leadership academy. In 2 weeks will be our fourth Wednesday of the month. So we'll be having our team leader leadership academy, which I'm really excited about as well. So if you have partners that are running to be team leaders, help them get promoted in the next couple of weeks. Even though their compensation of team leaders starts next month, they could still get into the Team Leader Leadership Academy if they get it done by the fourth Wednesday of the month. So super excited, super grateful for this month. Excited to see everybody. Let's make the best week possible. Let's get everybody absolutely running to full speed. I think there are some exciting things being announced from the office this week too, that I think there's something coming. So that's also exciting. So I can talk about it yet, because they didn't give me the liberty to do so. But there's something exciting that we look out, for the team leader group chat and things. There's something exciting coming this week. So before we close, Mr. Tim Hurt, do you have anything to share with us?
Hey, you nailed it. And there's a new documentary that just came out last night on HBO called K Everything. So it's funny that Danny's talking about this, because whenever when you talk to me about this, I'm like, yeah, I like Korean food. Like, I love it. Everybody knows that. And I'm like, what does like all this K stuff have to do with like how great these products are? Like, I was like, I don't understand. Like, yeah, Chris is a K-pop star. What's that have to do with how good these products are? But like, now I totally get it. It's like, you just slap a K in front of something and it just moved. So you know that it's hilarious, because I was like doubtful. Like, when I'm like, what's Korean? What does how good Calbee is? Have that anything to do with how good this product is? But like, it's absolutely a, you know what I mean? And it's just like Mr. Danny said, it's like staying in that honeymoon stage is the key, right? It's like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the magic. Any of you that have been married for a long time, like, like, sure, some of you have been married longer than I have, but it's like, I love my wife today more than I've ever loved her before, right? It's like having that same, that's the way I feel about Riman. It's like, I'm more fired up about Riman today than I ever was, because now I know more and I'm better at it. But how do you stay fired up? You know what I mean? Like, how do you stay excited is exactly what Mr. Danny Bay is talking about. Like, the way I always explain it to people is, it's like a freeway, and there's different lanes, right? And you're either in one lane, right? One lane is you're flying, right? You're talking to people left and right. You can't stop talking to people. That's the fast lane, right? Then you got another lane that's a little bit slower, and you're just kind of like maybe not talking to as many people. And then there's a real slow lane where you're maybe just talking to a few people. And it basically just depends on how much money you want to make. If you want to make 500 to 1,000 a day, you're in that fast lane. If you want to make 500 to 1,000 a week, you're in that middle lane. But if you want to make 500 to 1,000 a month, you're in that slow lane. And sometimes you'll be in a fast lane, you go to a slow lane, you go to a fast lane, and sometimes you're moving around. The key is I just stay in the fast lane. That's what I do. I just stay in that fast lane and let my DMO, my daily method of operation, be nonstop. Because how do you stay fired up? It's the more presentations you do. When you're talking to new people and getting them excited and doing presentations and you're selling somebody else, you're selling yourself. When you're pointing one finger at somebody else about Riman, you're pointing three back. So I get the best presentation whenever I'm doing, when I'm maxed out in my schedule. That's how I stay fired up. People are like, is that even natural to stay as excited as you are, Tim? Well, when you overbook your schedule with money making activities and you're talking to new people all the time, you're going to stay excited. So that's the magic to it, staying in that fast lane. Because if you're in the slow lane and you move to the fast lane, you better speed up in order to move over, or you're going to get into a car crash, right? Any of you that have ever driven on California freeways, if you're in that bumper to bumper lane and you move into that fast lane, you better step on the accelerator, right? So if you want to change lanes and make more money, all you got to do is step on the gas. So that's an analogy I try to use that my mentor taught me. But Mr. Danny Bay, you got me fired up. I'm gonna go watch that K. I'm gonna go watch that K Everything documentary. Okay, it came out. It was a CNN documentary, but they have it on. I think they might have it on Prime too. I don't know. It's all these streaming services confuse me. But what I do know for sure is Danny Bay's absolutely right. Like you just slap the K in front of everything, and we can sell it, right? I mean, but we don't have to just sell that. This is like a K beauty product. No, this is it. Like this is the best stuff on the planet. Like we are K beauty. Like I'm getting fired up just thinking about it. So, Mr. Danny Bay, thank you for the great message today. Love you. Back to you. One more thing. For you guys that are building in Southern California, we're gonna have a big regional event. Danny Bay's coming out on the 30th. Any directors, I reached out to most of the leaders, Karen, Steve, different leaders. But if you're coming to that event, let me know because corporate's going to be putting a flyer together. We're going to put all the directors and above on that. So that's going to be May 30th. Chinese meeting is going to be the Chinese meeting is going to start at 10. And then at 1 o'clock is going to be the English speaking meeting. So just wanted to let everybody know about that. We're going to be doing a big regional HQ, and Mr. Danny Bay is going to come out and bless us with his presence. So thank you, sir, so much. Appreciate that, and I can't wait. I can't wait for today.
All right. Have a great day, everybody. And Teresa, you're absolutely, I mean, we get our company big enough, and when our convention is like 50,000 people, I'm sure we could figure out a way to invite BTS or, somebody from BTS over there when we get that large, and we will get that large, and it's going to be fun. All right. Have a great day. Have a great week, everyone. God bless you. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.